Minasan konnichiwa. Zairi desu. Darashitoga yokoso. Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is July 4th, 2023 and it's 1:45 in the morning because I'm just up. 3 days before we go to Japan and I want to keep this minimalistic-ish kind of vibe. It's going to be easier for me to edit and upload content and easier for you guys to see. So make sure to please stay posted for my vlogs for when I go to Japan. 3 days. I swear you guys, just 3 days. Okay, so today's video you might have seen by the title. I'm going to be talking about languages and my perspective on languages as a linguist, languages and language learning. So if you guys don't know, my name is Zaire and I'm 15 years old and I'm into languages. Okay, I've been studying languages my entire life. From a young age, I've been learning Spanish. So even though I'm not fluent, I've been learning Spanish from a very young age because of my cultural background. I'm Jamaican and Honduran. And I've been intensively studying languages for the past 3.5 years. I've been studying Japanese for the past 3.5 years, Chinese for the past 2-ish years, but it doesn't really show, and modern standard Arabic / Gulf Arabic, a very little bit of Gulf Arabic for the past week. And I've been doing different linguistic studies, such as languages as a whole and language families for the past year or so. So even though I'm not a professional and I've simply gone on YouTube, many different websites, and comprised knowledge that I have, I want you guys to still verify what I'm saying and fact check from actual sources. And if you find that what I'm saying is wrong or is different, please make sure to let me know, okay? I'm always here to learn. So, languages from a linguist perspective. Not just languages, but language learning. If you guys like this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. どうしてみてくださいよ。楽しんだら嬉しいですよね。それからこの動画を始まりましょうね。Okay, so before we even start off this conversation, what is a language? Yeah, I can't even explain what a language is myself. So, let's go to the all trusty friend, Google. Have my MacBook right here. What is a language? The principal method of human communication consisting of words used in a structured and conventional way and conveyed by speech, writing, or gesture. Remember that. Speech, writing, or gesture. What's the second definition? We have a system of communication used by a particular country or community. So let's take that definition into account. Matter of fact, let's simplify it so we can understand it better. Language is communication. There you go. It can be communicated through speech, meaning talking, writing, meaning in books, notebooks, text, and gesture, meaning how you move. That's what a language is. And in the second definition, a system of communication, not just communication, but a system, meaning languages are full of patterns. It is consistent patterns. Not A equals B. A equals B is not a pattern, but it's consistent. Boom, boom, boom. That's why we have verb conjugations, because that's a system. See where I'm going. Okay, so that's what a language is to me. And learning that helped me benefit my language learning for Japanese, for Chinese, and for learning Arabic. Because knowing that language is a pattern, you can set patterns and use those same patterns and apply it to many different situations and scenarios, which helps you amplify your language learning. Like, for example, in Arabic, I can say, أنا تتكلم قلم من العربية. A little bit messed up, but I know. It means I speak a little bit of Arabic. Now, قلم من means a little bit. So you can apply that to many scenarios. Like, أنا تتكلم قلم من العربية. Or you can say, أنا أكل
قلم ميم تفاح. I ate a little bit of apples. So you can apply that. That's what language is. It's a set of or a system of communications. Second, a little bit of a language learning. I want to tell you guys my way of language learning. I feel language learning is something that's personal and it's a commitment. So I want you guys, if you're going to learn a language, or if you're not and you just want to listen to me talk, that's great too. But if you're going to learn a language, it can be not even just Japanese. It could be Japanese. It could be Hebrew, Czech, Bosnian, any kind of language. Learn this. Language, or for me personally, the most progress I've made in languages is immersion. Because you'll go through all of these language videos that I'll see. How do you learn a language? And they'll say, oh, don't worry about reading, don't worry about writing, you need to speak. You need to learn how to listen. And there's other ones like, oh, learn about, focus on your reading, immersion. Language is about acquisition. Okay? Acquisition. You acquire. That doesn't mean you can hear تتكلم one time, which means to speak. You can hear تتكلم one time in Arabic and remember it. No. You know how many times I had to say أنا تتكلم? So many times. That's why when I study Japanese, I'll repeat. I'll say ikusuri, 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 kazakusuri, kazakusuri. You have to repeat it. And not just repetition, but you need to apply it. Let me give you this, for example. Think of when you're a baby, right? When you're a baby, you don't know how to speak anything. You can't speak English, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. You can't speak anything, right? And you hear the people around you speaking English. It's not just them speaking English, but they put a name to a face. For example, whenever I say book, like notebook, whenever I say notebook, you know what a notebook is. Assuming that your first language is English. You know what a notebook is. Put a name to a face. Whenever I say a paper, you know what a piece of paper is. Why? Because of acquisition. If you go up to a 1-year-old and say paper, they're not gonna know just because you said paper. That's what, even if you show them, but they're gonna keep on seeing a piece of paper throughout their life. So if it's repeated by everyone they see that this is a piece of paper, they're gonna say, "Oh, in order to write, I need a piece of paper." So they go get a paper. That's acquisition. How do you, because you're not a baby, say your first language is English and you want to learn Japanese, okay? Don't do what I did. When I started Japanese, I didn't know what I was doing. Okay? Just like any self-studying learner. You don't know what you're doing. So this is what I've done after studying linguistics and studying my languages for the past 3.5 years. What you want to do is immerse. So you want to not just write, not just read, not just listen, or just speak. You want to do all four for the entire day. This may seem a little bit intensive, and you may have some people that are like, oh, I have a busy schedule. If you want it to be finished, if you want it to be done, you can make it you can make it work, for one. 2, immersion is by doing it any time of the day. The times that you're eating dinner, and I'm saying you, but this is me. You're eating dinner and you're watching YouTube, or you're in the car and you're watching YouTube. That YouTube needs to be in Japanese. You're like, but I can't understand. Okay, you can't understand it. Even me, 3.5 years, I can't understand every single little thing. Don't use the captions because you don't go anywhere with that. Sometimes you need to practice both two kinds of listening, active and passive listening. So in language learning, active listening is basically when you're constantly learning in your head. So when you're listening, you can be like, リンゴを食べて、それから私は喫茶店に行きます. You're translating that in your head. Ringo tabete. Okay, so like saying eat an apple. それから and then 喫茶店に行きます. We'll go to a cafe or coffee shop. That's active listening. Passive listening is when you say リンゴを食べてそれから喫茶店に行きます. And you don't know what I just said. That's passive listening. Sometimes, and a lot of people in the language learning community kind of discourage passive listening because you don't get anything done, which is true. But a lot of times during my language learning, I practice passive listening because during those times of passive listening, you're never actually passive because your brain is still picking up the speech patterns. So even if you don't know what I said, ringo o tabete kisate ni ikimasu, you're still able to mimic the sounds. Oh, ringo tabete kisate ikimasu. So you're still able to mimic those sounds. Passive listening. Use it. And even your active listening, that's how you're able to learn your vocabulary. And that is the time you apply it. So if you don't get that time every single day, you're never going to apply it, meaning you're never going to make progress. So in order to make progress in your language learning, you need immersion. Immersion is one thing that you cannot escape, that you need in order to improve rapidly. Now, if you want to study like how I was studying on average 4 to 5 hours a day in my beginner stage, and I'm not lying about that. Because I was sitting there studying Japanese religiously every day during the summer, even during the school year. Times in class, I would be studying Japanese, listening, stuff like that. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. And sometimes you may go about it as, well, I don't know if I'm improving. You can take many self-tests. Like, for example, this is just if you're studying Japanese, mind you. But for other languages, I can't tell. I know for Chinese, you can take mock HSK test. But for other languages, I don't really know. 日本語個人能力評価 評価 here. Personal Japanese assessment. So if you see here at the bottom, you'll have my different scores. So listening, 1 out of 5. Dang, it's a 1 out of 5. Bunpo, so like grammar, kanji, different things, and you have a final score, which is 17 out of 25. So this is the first one that I took, which is it was in August 5th, 2021. So I knew from there what I needed to study. I needed to do more listening practices rather than, grammar, kanji, or reading. So let's go to a more recent one that I did. So this is a new one. Mind you, that last one was on the N5. This is on the N4. And I got high marks on everything except reading. So this is Dokkai Doku, reading comprehension, is 2 out of 5 because so that shows me I need to improve my reading comprehension. But my overall score is 20 out of 25, which is 8%. So you need to do that. You need to do immersion every waking moment as soon as you get up. Japanese. You need to speak to yourself in Japanese. People like to discourage that. I don't. I did a lot of that, especially. Now I still do a lot of that, especially as a person. I grew up in the States, in Maryland. There's not a Japanese person within miles. Okay, so you need to speak to yourself. You need to correct yourself. You guys know for the amount of time I've been saying onamae wa nan desu ka? I was saying that for a good 6-7 months until I was looking at a YouTube video and said onamae. I was like, what? Onamae. That's what I was saying, but it's onamae. So you have to correct yourself, and language is acquisition. It takes time. You know the amount of times I've said onamae to just now. If someone says onamae, I just know what it means. That's what language is. Is acquisition. Is slowly building up. So please remember that. And once you apply that to your language learning, you can apply it to any language. Don't think of this as a one-stop ticket, but think of this as a way to boost your language learning. And I've applied this when learning Arabic for the past week.
أهلا بك أهلا بك. من أين أنت يا سيف الله؟
أنا من الشيشان. ومن أين أنت؟
أنا من تركيا. وهل أنت روسي؟
لا، أنا لست روسيا.
Learning my Chinese. I watch a lot of Chinese dramas.
争取精神面貌第一。
明天早上8点，学校门口集合，大家注意，不要迟到。
And I try to review a lot, and I try to repeat, I try to pronounce. Even my Chinese reading is so-so. But with Japanese, I do a lot of repeating, a lot of it. My entire phone is in Japanese. And yeah, you guys, thank you for watching another one of my long-winded YouTube videos. And if you like this, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit post notifications. Anyways, I don't think I'm gonna be filming until I get to Japan or until I vlog. So see you guys then. Peace out.